Hey guys, how's it going? This is Nappy Sensei here, and before the video start, I just want to let you guys know the company MOJHON, formerly known as Big One, actually sent me this controller for review. And at any point of this review, if you want to purchase this controller, there will be a link in the description that will allow you to purchase the controller and also give me a small kickback. And without further ado, here's a review on MOJHON's new controller, the MOJHON Aether budget controller. Enjoy. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Nappy Sensei here, and here I am with MOJHON, formerly known as Big One. I don't know why they changed their name from Big One to MOJHON. The J is actually silent. Trust me, I Googled this and made sure how to pronounce this. It is MOJHON. Hey guys, how's it going? Real quick. I know I just paused the video, but trust me, there is a reason why I paused it. So I didn't want to redo the whole unboxing portion of this review because of me mispronouncing the name of the company. The company is actually called MOJHON, not MOJHON. So my dumb self just decided to type it in Google Translator, and Google Translator gave me MOJHON, so I just went with MOJHON when this really is MOJHON. But because of me doing the unboxing portion, it's supposed to be the authentic experience when unboxing this controller. Of course, I couldn't refilm it, so I'm just going to let you guys know that I am going to be saying MOJHON in the middle of the unboxing portion of this controller. Again, my apologies to MOJHON, formerly known as Big One, for just misscrewing your name after you sent me this controller. But yes, just bear with me for the unboxing portion. I am going to be saying MOJHON a lot instead of MOJHON. It is MOJHON. But without further ado, let's get back to the unboxing portion of this video. So yeah, MOJHON, formerly known as Big One, has not only changed their name, but released a new budget-friendly controller called the Aether controller. As you see, this controller does have a LED screen on it, which is pretty cool, which I hope we can use for programming for Windows 10, 11, Switch, Android, and iOS. And the controller also comes with 2 programmable buttons and a pulling rate over 1,000 hertz wireless and wire connection. Which, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Way for Big One to rebrand themselves as MOJHON and their first controller that they're going to release under the new name. So without further ado, let's do an unboxing of this. Also, Big One also did send me this, just to let you guys know that that doesn't really change my opinions when it comes to reviewing this. So they did tell me I have full transparency and I can say whatever I want to say about this controller. But they did send this to me. Thank you, MOJHON, for sending me this controller. I gotta get used to calling you MOJHON instead of Big One, since y'all want to change y'all names all of a sudden. But without further ado, let's get into this review. All right, cut open this, and we're gonna pull this thing out. Oh wait, there's something else in the box. Support center. Cool. MOJHON. It's just interesting how it's MOJHON. But all right, cool. Support center card for you to scan QR code. We got the controller itself, which we're gonna pop this thing out. Believe on the other side there's something else, we gotta pop that out. And gee. Okay, so it kind of fell out. I should suspect that. Let's see, you get the dongle, which I'm gonna cut you open. Make sure not to cut myself. All right, there we go. USB-A dongle. It's a dongle. Name, wireless adapter, MOJHON, cool. And here we have the controller itself, and holding this controller in our hands. Wow, this is an extremely lightweight controller. Wow. Wow, yeah, this controller is extremely lightweight, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It depends on user's preference. This D-pad is interesting. So the D-pad actually sticks out, but it's kind of like a concave like D-pad in a little bit. It actually rolls pretty nice. I actually like this. I like this a lot actually. Yeah, baby one, you did a really good job on this. Also, I see the little cool design right here with the little clouds. Can I? Oh, I probably could scratch this away. I hope not. It's a cool design, but without further ado, this is a budget-friendly controller, so this little design is pretty cool. D-pad does feel really nice. The joysticks. Is there anti-friction rings around here? Okay, let me just roll this around. I feel a little bit, it doesn't feel as smooth, but it's not bad either. Can't tell if there's really an anti-friction ring, but it rolls pretty well. The joysticks, as far as these concave like joysticks though, they are extremely grippy though, like super grip. Like I'm putting my thumb on here lightly and I could just smooth this thing around. The ABXY are just memory buttons, but budget-friendly controller with the LED screen, I'm pretty sure they cut corners, so the ABXY is just regular memory buttons, but they feel nice, they do get the job done. Yeah, bumpers, they're just a piece of plastic pushing on a button, so they feel nice. The triggers, triggers were really nice. Yeah, they feel like I don't have too much complaints about them. Let's look at the back of this controller. You got 2 programmable buttons right here. Looks like you get a tutorial, so if you scan this QR code right here, it tells you a tutorial how to use this controller, but why scan the QR code when you could just listen to me and I can tell you how to use this controller. The back buttons actually feel really nice. The back buttons are mechanical keys. Why did they make the back buttons mechanical keys? They feel really nice though. It's just interesting how that's like the only thing that feels like mechanical of this controller are the 2 programmable back buttons. But that is really nice. I wonder how this controller looks when you turn it on. All right. Ooh, so tap FN for settings. So it looks like it has X input mode, not connected to nothing, and the battery is halfway dead, which is cool. All right, ooh, so you can go into the configs of this. Dead zones, left stick and right stick. Oh, so the dead zones are automatically set to 12%. I'm going to knock you down to 5% because that's usually where I keep my dead zones at. All right, mapping. This is nice. This makes this so simple. You guys don't understand, like all the button combinations I really do appreciate, but the fact that you got a budget-friendly controller that makes mapping buttons extremely easy. Oh my God, this is actually really nice. And let's see, which one's M1? All right, so this is M1, this is M2. All right, see, this is nice. Map M1, I'm gonna make that X. Map M2, make that Y. That is so easy, I appreciate this. So it looks like you can map buttons right there. Turbo mode. Ooh, you can set turbo mode for practically all the buttons. I wonder how fast turbo mode is. I'm probably gonna test it out when I get to my computer to see if turbo mode, if it got like multiple speeds or it's just one straight like speed. Triggers. You can activate hair triggers on them. So basically what hair triggers does is basically turns it from an analog trigger just to a regular input trigger where it goes from 0 to 100 rather than like depending on how far you push. So that's really nice. Wow, I'm surprised that they've got all these features on this screen. And vibration settings. You can set it to low, mid, high, or you can turn it off. Wow, this wow, this is really nice. This screen does its job. Looks like you got a pairing option, which I'm pretty sure like you can pair this with a dongle or Bluetooth. All right, and light option. You can control the brightness of the screen, which I do appreciate. That can help save battery life and info. Firmware version V30. So it looks like, I wonder if this controller is compatible with like software for you to upgrade the firmware of this controller. But this controller is really nice. And this is supposed to be a budget-friendly controller. I love the fact that this controller made everything so simple with this screen. The screen's pretty durable. Like, I don't think you're gonna break the screen anytime soon unless you like take like a kunai and just be like, ah. But I don't think the screen's gonna break anytime soon. I can't see anyone breaking the screen, but I really do love this screen. The fact that it makes configuring this controller extremely simple, like super simple. And it looks like you got English. I don't know these characters. I'm not even going to pretend. This could be traditional Chinese and Mandarin for all I know. I don't know. But with that being said, X input mode and switch mode. Okay, so it does work for the Nintendo Switch. So you got switch mode right there. With that being said, yeah, I really do enjoy this controller. I love this screen. It looks like I won't have to go through a how-to part for this for this review, because Big Big One basically made it where you do everything on the screen, which I really do like. I guess the next thing I can do is plug this into my PC. Basically do an input latency test, joystick accuracy test, and just play some games and see how well this controller performs. So far, I'm really liking this budget-friendly controller. I am really loving this screen because it makes programming this controller super simple and super easy. But without further ado, let's move along with this video.
All right, guys, so here we are in X input tester, and as you see, I have the controller connected with all the buttons working, which no problem. And we're here because we're going to do a joystick accuracy test, and already looking at it, I can definitely tell that the joysticks are pretty accurate. But you know, just to confirm it, let's just do this test real quick. Here we go. All right, so looks like we have an average error rate of 2.7 with a little bit of outliers that's like on or between like the 85 to like 40-degree angle right here, but then again, like, oh, it got to 2.8. Got both sides of 2.8. So it looks like smacking the sticks around. Looks like the most I can get out of this controller is an average error rate of 2.8, which is actually really good because overall this controller is actually pretty evened out. And I'd rather for it to go over a little bit and be even around than having it not be able to cover the whole diameter of this circle. So yeah, without further ado, let's do an input latency test on this controller. All right, guys, so here we are next input tester. So we're going to test the input latency of this controller. And without further ado, also remind you guys, I got this controller hooked up to my PC with the USB-C dongle. So this is going to be the test of the input latency with the USB-C dongle. And there you have it. Input latency is set to an average of 1.000248 milliseconds with a pull rate of 99.75. Let's just round it up to a pull rate of 1,000, which is good. Out of the 1,000 samples, it looks like we only got 2 outliers, which one's 2.9 millisecond. The other one is 7.95 milliseconds. And looking at this, the numbers overall seem pretty tight, which is actually a really good thing. So I have to say, like, yeah, this is actually really good for a budget-friendly controller. That's a budget-friendly wireless controller, to remind you. So yeah, without further ado, let's actually test this with a wired input, and we're also going to test the Bluetooth connection. So next up, wire input. All right, guys, so here we are back in X input tester with the wire connection, and without further ado, let's test the wire input latency. Wow, would you look at that? It's still a 1 millisecond response time. What's actually interesting about this one is that the wire connection actually had more outliers compared to the dongle connection. This is unique. Got 7 over 1,000. I wonder if I could restart this. I'm really curious. Maybe it was just a one-type fluke thing. Here we go again. All right, there we go. A little bit less outliers. It looks like it has still more than the dongle settings, but it looks like the wire connection had like some outliers. But if I look up here, it looks like all the numbers are pretty tight, which is actually a really good thing. I'll definitely say that the average is definitely lower. The average input latency is definitely lower than the dongle connection, but there's a little bit more outliers with the wire connection compared to the dongle. That's just pretty interesting. But without further ado, let's do the final test, and we're going to do a Bluetooth connection with this controller. So let's see how the Bluetooth works. All right, guys, I am back. I got the controller successfully hooked up to my PC with a Bluetooth connection. And without further ado, we're going to test the Bluetooth latency for this controller. So mind you, my computer does have Bluetooth 5.2. I have disconnected any other Bluetooth device, so this is the only Bluetooth device connected to it. And the antenna is like practically like right next to my controller, so should be no interference whatsoever. But without further ado, let's get this started. Okay. MOJHON, Big One slash, I'm sorry, MOJHON. Your Bluetooth ain't looking too good. God, this is solid 14s. All right, so here we have it. Bluetooth mode has a average input latency of 15 milliseconds with a polling rate of 65. Out of the 1,000 samples, I got 26 outliers, which is 3.7, 2.9, 2.9. And it looks like it's averaging around a lot of 14. So I'll have to say, like, this is actually pretty solid. But yeah, you definitely do not want to use this controller for its Bluetooth reasons. You want to stick to either using the dongle or using it for on wire connection. Yeah, with this being at 14 milliseconds, yeah, this is pretty high for input latency. It's solid though, it's smooth. It's just input latency a little high for me. But all right, let's move along with this video. All right, so I've been using this controller for a little over a month now, and here are my thoughts on this controller. First off, I would like to say for a controller for 30 USD that this controller is definitely a great option for those PC gamers looking for a budget-friendly controller. The fact that this controller comes with Hall effect joysticks, Hall effect triggers, and also that the buttons are rated for 2 million clicks, which are these soft membrane click buttons, I can assure you that this controller will definitely last in a longevity for budget gamers. Another cool thing about this controller is that this controller has a really low input latency with a wired and wireless connection. With 1,000 polling rate with a 1 millisecond input latency, I can definitely recommend this controller for competitive FPS games or quick time games or any games that require you to have quick and precise inputs. Definitely a great controller for those competitive games, and especially for FPS games. I also want to point out the D-pad on this controller. So when I was using the D-pad on this controller, I really do like the fact that the D-pad just feels the way it does. So because of the D-pad being concave and in the middle, and also has the cross setup where basically you have the up, down, left, right. For me, when it comes to playing fighting games like Tekken 8, it was extremely easy for me to make precise inputs with up, down, left, right by sliding my thumb from the middle and just going from up, down, left, right. Now, if I wanted to make a bunch of diagonal movements were extremely easy to do with this controller, because with keeping my thumb in the middle, I'm able to rock down and easily able to get those up, left, up, right, down, left, down, right movements on this controller. I have to say, the D-pad on this controller, the fact that it sticks above the shell and it's like a little rocker where you can basically hit those inputs very easily, I really do like the D-pad on this controller. Last but not least, one of the best things about this controller is the LCD screen that's built inside of this controller. Because of the LCD screen, I don't have to do the thing where I have to memorize a bunch of different button combinations to program the buttons and back buttons, along with activating hair trigger modes and turbo functions. Instead, I could just go into the LCD screen by hitting FN, hitting FN again to go to config, and I'm able to program all this stuff on the fly on the controller. Extremely easy, super simple, and I have to say the LCD screen on this controller makes programming this controller extremely easy, which I highly recommend for those people who don't want to memorize a bunch of different button combinations when programming this controller. And also the fact that this controller just has a screen on it that allows you to do all the cool customization is just really great. And also you don't have to worry about the battery life about this controller, because this controller lasts me a good 8 to 10 hours, and that was me putting the screen at the max brightness. But also the controller's LCD screen will actually time out after maybe a minute, or up to it was around 3, 4, 5 minutes after inactivity of me not using the LCD screen for anything. So this controller is definitely great for those PC players looking for a budget-friendly controller that also wants to configure it easily. Yeah, this is a great option for you. Alright, so if I was to give this controller a rating from 1 through 10, seeing as this controller is going for 30 USD, and the fact that this controller comes with an LCD screen that will allow you to configure the controller as far as 2 programmable back buttons, hair triggers, and also enabling turbo mode, the fact that this controller comes with Hall effect joysticks and Hall effect triggers, I could definitely say for 30 USD, this controller is easily a 10 out of 10 great option for budget gamers looking for a budget controller for PC gaming. D-pad feels really great. The buttons are actually nice soft click membrane buttons, which they perform really well. They're rated for 2 million clicks, which means that you'll definitely get that longevity out of this controller. Plus, with the Hall effect joysticks and triggers, definitely increases the longevity of this controller, and it's just a great light budget friendly controller for PC gamers out there. So, and with that being said, that is my review for the MOJHON Aether budget-friendly controller. All right, guys, that is it for this review. If you found this review helpful, you should do me a favor and hit that like button for me. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell to let you guys know the next time that I post another controller review. It could be on the PC side or the mobile side. I do both when it comes to gaming. And also, one more thing to remind you guys, if you are willing, or if you guys want to purchase this controller right now, if you go into my description, you'll see an affiliate link. This affiliate link will allow you to purchase this controller at a slightly discounted price. Instead of 30 USD, I think it's around 25 USD. Plus, I get a small kickback. And again, thank you guys for watching my videos and trusting me when it comes to these controller reviews. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.